Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Luca Motel and I'm a traditional artist based in Wisconsin, USA. And today we're doing MerMay Day 27, which is sunset. To start off, I'm masking off the sun and the mermaid with Pebeo masking fluid. This just protects the area under the masking fluid from paint. It works kind of the same way as like taping it off does, but it's not as rigid as tape, I guess. You can paint it on like this. But there is the risk of ripping or staining the paper. I'm just using a silicone brush with this because masking fluid wrecks a traditional brush. And I find I get pretty good details in with the silicone brush. So this is the last of the sketchbook. So I've done 48 mermaids as of today. And I'm gonna do the last 4 days of MerMay on just regular paper, not in a sketchbook. Now I'm painting the sky with some yellow and a neon orange, and then some pink and some purple. But yeah, I wanted the last day in the sketchbook to be sunset because it's like it's coming to a close. I know it's kind of cheesy, but whatever. And now I'm adding purple, pink, and that neon orange and yellow to the water. I love painting water and skies, especially sunrises or sunsets. They're just so colorful and fun. Water is actually quite forgiving to paint. You can just paint random scribbles and it still kind of looks like water. Though I do recommend trying to learn how to paint water if you're interested in it, rather than just scribbling. Now I'm adding all the ripples in with a purple instead of a blue because the darkest color here is purple instead of blue. So yeah, let me know, have you done MerMay? How many mermaids have you done if you have? Do you ever do monthly challenges? I know a lot of people don't really do monthly challenges very well because it gets overwhelming and leads to burnout, but for some reason for me, monthly challenges are like, I thrive with them. They're like a form of structure, and I literally like structure but also chaos. It's really annoying. I have ADHD and autism diagnosed, so it's really funny trying to mesh those two together. I say funny, it really sucks, but it's just, they always combat each other. Like, the ADHD wants chaos and freedom, and the autism wants structure and consistency. And so I have to do both, but it's really hard to do both. But yeah, monthly challenges for some reason work really well for me. I think they're both a little structured and a little chaotic, so maybe that's why it works. If that makes any sense. But yeah, now I'm working on the mermaid. I masked off the eyes. I added some yellow to the sun behind. I think I might have added too much yellow, but that's okay. I also put my hand in orange paint and got it on the sun, because of course I did. And now I'm painting in the skin tone. For the tail of this mermaid, I used a paint called Dusk Pink by... who was it by? Oh, now I'm blanking. I believe it's by Van Gogh, the brand. It's a really nice granulating pink gray, I guess. But yeah, I figured using a paint literally called Dusk Pink would be fitting for a sunset mermaid. Now I'm just doing some basic shading on the skin. The hands look really wonky, but we're gonna ignore that. I know how to draw and paint hands, it's just... for some reason, when I'm doing an actual piece, they just come out horrible. I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm like the best at hands, but I do know how to do them at least. I know there's a really big split in the art community of those who hate hands and those who love hands, and the majority seems to be those who hate drawing hands, but I don't know, I'm on the fence. They're not the worst thing to draw. They're also not like the most fun thing to draw either. I don't really care one way or another. If I have to draw a hand, I'll draw a hand. And if I need to study hands for a week, I'll study hands for a week, but it's not like I'm gonna draw hands just for the fun of it. No, the thing I draw just for the fun of it is probably dragons. I love dragons, and mythical creatures in general. Which is probably why MerMay works so well for me, because they're mythical, fantastical creatures. You get to have fun messing up anatomy and putting in colors that aren't normal and whatnot. Let me know what you prefer. Do you prefer like fantasy, sci-fi, realism? I don't know. There's a lot of different things you can do. Abstract. I definitely want to consider myself a fantasy artist. I'd love to do like Magic the Gathering cards or book covers, Gen Con, things like that. So yeah, now I'm just doing the hair, adding in all the strands, and then some details to the tail. I of course made the eyes mint green again because I just love mint green so much. And now I'm adding in some outlines. And here comes metallics and highlights, the most fun part of the piece, where everything really comes together and pops. I added some silver to the tail and some gold to the ocean, and earrings. And now I get to do all the highlights and sparkles. It's especially fun doing the sparkles on the water. But yeah, I outlined the whole character in white to do like a rim light effect because the sun is behind them. Realistically, they shouldn't be this light at all. They should be like, oh, what's the word? Oh, my pen spilled, of course it did. It's the first time it's happened with this pen, so I was quite surprised. But it was fine. It didn't mess up the piece too much. But yeah, the character should be like silhouetted, but I wanted you to be able to see them, so I messed up the lighting on purpose. Anyways, now here's the sparkles and the highlights on the water, and this is just great. I love this part so much. Anyways, that's it. That's the end of the piece. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you again. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.